Welcome back, everybody, to Brainstorm Brewery, the first one of 2019. This is the one where we get to regale you with some pretty awesome stories that DJ and I have to tell, and I know how much you're all looking forward to them.
Well, your story is this week your story is an exquisite train wreck that we'll all enjoy. My story is a typical Corbin story, and that is like 2 minutes of me telling something that I think is funny, but then you guys probably won't think is funny, so.
All right.
I got in a fight with Jamie Kennedy on Twitter. How about that?
That was no one knows who Jamie Kennedy is.
Yeah, Malibu's
no one knows who that
wanted.
is.
Son of the Mask.
All right.
Wasn't he in some
Son
wrestling
of
movie?
the Mask.
Wasn't he in a wrestling
no
movie
one
with
knows.
David Arquette?
You're the only one that knows this trivia.
I was shocked. I actually knew who he was when you brought it up.
So
anyways, I am sitting.
He's a crybaby, and he made a movie called Critic or whatever, and it was basically like him just like complaining about all the times that he either got heckled or got like bad reviews from movie critics, and it was like really cringy, and it was fun to watch. Just Google Jamie Kennedy. There's all kind of stuff with him like embarrassing himself at panels. And anyway, I got in an argument with him on Twitter, and it was really funny. That's my story. See, I wrapped it up.
I do think Jason won that argument. Just for the record, it helped that you were right.
But I'll argue with Jamie Kennedy if I know I'm wrong. But yeah, it did help to be right.
Yeah, no, I thought you were more clever than him.
Oh, he was drunk, and I don't think he's very smart. Like, I didn't think he was very smart when like I saw his whole career, but then also.
But this did nothing to.
This didn't help. Some people are like pretend to be dumb and like are secretly smart, but not this guy.
I'm sitting in my resort in Disney World, recording out on the back porch for all of you because I did not want to miss a week. I had to miss a week a couple weeks ago when I was sick and just literally had no voice.
Yeah, the 13th cast this year is over the line. Anything before that, right? You're fine skipping, but once you hit that 28% mark.
DJ, this is the first cast of the year, you idiot.
Oh, dad jokes already.
That's not a dad joke. It's literally the first cast. It is January 1st. Happy New Year's.
Well, assholes. I feel like we haven't cast together in a year.
We were supposed to cast yesterday. We were supposed to cast last year, but
shut up. No one's ever. Actually, I was in bed before midnight. I went to an Irish pub and they celebrated New Year's at 7 p.m. because that was midnight in Ireland and it was perfect for me now that I'm old. I got to go to bed like I wanted.
How do you celebrate?
No, so here's the.
So speaking of Corbin not going to bed.
Yeah. None of us are going to get to go to bed because this story's never going to end.
Well, this is a cautionary tale. So we've been planning this Disney World trip with our family. It's a big deal. We've done it a couple times now, but this is the first time we've done it with our kid. Marianne's, my wife's parents are big Disney fans. We're staying on the property. It's a big deal, big family trip, whatever. It's great. We're having a lot of fun. But we've been playing this for like a year and a half here. So I'm just playing Commander, enjoying my last night at home before I'm about to be gone for a week and a half at the other night. And I get an email that says, your flight has been canceled. And I have never had a canceled flight before. I've had delayed flights. I've had flights that didn't take off for hours to the point they put me on other planes. Maybe they got canceled. I don't know. But I've never before had a flight.
I've never had a flight get canceled. Sometimes I flew on a different plane at a different time, but I never had a flight canceled.
Well, yeah, right? Because there's a big there's a big difference though. Because if your flight's delayed and they put you on something else, you make it. If your flight gets canceled,
it's just like now we're not responsible for getting you to your city until you buy another ticket. That's a canceled.
Right. Well, here's the thing: is it says please rebook. So, like, if you're delayed, they'll get you there as best they can, blah blah blah, or you'll eventually make it late. But I get an email that says please rebook. Here are the options. The next option doesn't fly out until Friday. We're supposed to leave Thursday morning, so this is already a problem. But okay, my wife and I figure it out. It's midnight on Wednesday night. We get up at 3 a.m. on Thursday, and we drive to Dallas because our 9 a.m. flight from Dallas to Orlando is still scheduled to take off.
How long is
our family?
Long is that drive, Corbin?
It's a 3.5-hour drive.
Woo.
Yeah, it's a 3.5-hour drive. So, I think the flight was scheduled to board at 8:30 or something. And keep in mind, we're going with a 2-year-old who does not do well on long car rides. So we get him up at 3 a.m. We drive down there to meet our family who had driven down the day before. Well, 9:30 comes and goes, or 8:30 comes and goes. We're not on our plane. 9 comes and goes, and they go, "Okay, everybody, 15 minutes from now, we're going to be boarding. We're just waiting on flight attendants to come down from this other terminal where they just landed." All right, that's cool. So 15 minutes later, nothing happens. 15 minutes later, we get an announcement. Flight attendants are on their way. All right, flight attendants get there about 30 minutes later, obviously. All right, okay, this is probably fine. And they go, "All right, everybody, more bad news. We don't have a first officer for your plane." At which point I looked at everyone around me and said, "I don't think we're going anywhere today." Because, I don't know, apparently American, which flies out of Dallas, was just completely wrecked by weather, and they ended up canceling 100-something flights over the course of the day. But they then try futilely for an hour and a half to get us a first officer. Eventually they come on and say, "That's not happening. Lol, JK, your flight is canceled."
Whew.
So I've driven 3.5 hours to get to the connecting flight, which has got canceled. So I'm 2 for 2 on canceled flights at this point. So that's neat. We go to the line to get into customer service, and the line is backed up about 4 gates on the airport. Right, the booth is at C25, and it's backed up to C29. Well, everyone's scrambling. Family gets in line. We've got a 2-year-old. I get on the phone. We call the rebooking line, because I look at my phone to rebook. Right, because they try to make it pretty easy for you. Keep in mind it's Thursday morning now, and it says next flight out Saturday. And we're going to Disney World. Like, what the heck? So we call the rebooking line to see what they've got for us, and they don't answer. We get the voicemail, right, that says, "We are experiencing a large volume of calls. Try again later. Click. Hang up." So we're in Dallas. We think we're going to be screwed for 2 days here. So I actually got a little bit creative. I'm a bit proud of myself. I called the platinum line for people with status on American Airlines. But the thing is, if you try to, it says, "Oh, I see you've missed your flight. Is it about that?" And if you say yes, then you get redirected to the helpline, which hangs up on you. So I say I want to book a new reservation, and I get a hold of the person there. And they're like, "You want to book a new reservation?" I'm like, "No, actually, now that I have a human being on the line, I want to get this fixed." So that person was a saint. They found me the literal last 4 seats on any plane on American out of Texas or Oklahoma to the state of Florida on that night for 4 people. And of course, obviously, it's 12 hours later, right? The flight leaves at like 8 p.m. The only problem is that there's 8 people in my party. So what ends up happening is and by the way, the flight's to Tampa, which is 2 hours from Disney World. So the rest of my family drives to Houston, where they catch a Southwest Airlines flight they book at the last minute to Tampa. We get on the plane at 8 p.m. to go to Tampa. And I think it's going to get canceled. Whatever. This line's huge. So we wait. We're still waiting in the line because we have to figure out our bags, because we got to, our bags are on this plane. How do we get them? Somebody comes through the line and says, "We don't know yet. Ask when you get up front." So 4 hours later, I get to the front of the line, and I see that American Airlines has 8 computers set up, and 3 of them are being used by workers for the 4-hour line.
Yeah, well, the other 5 had to go be first officers on flights.
Right? I mean, that's just absurd. I don't know. I'm telling this story in the long version here because I want everyone to know how shitty American Airlines was here. But that's what happens. They're using 3 of their 8 computers. We get up there and they say, "You need to file a lost baggage claim because we can't get you your bags." And I'm like, "Aren't my bags here? I dropped them off with you 4.5 hours ago or whatever, right?" And they go, we have 10,000 bags downstairs. We can't do anything. So you're just going to have to file a lost baggage claim." Whatever, that's fine. We go back to the airport. We're going to get on our next plane. And the plane before us, in our gate, our takeoff time is, I don't know the exact, so let's say it was 8 o'clock, right? 7:45 comes along. We're theoretically about to start boarding. And I see that the sign still says this plane is going to Detroit, not to Tampa. But that seems like a problem. Then I see that plane. I see people start to come off the plane. I'm like, "Oh, this is probably fine. They're going to change the gates." The people come off the plane, and They are unhappy because it turns out they had been sitting on the runway for 2 hours as they tried to fix the plane. The plane got fixed, but the plane got fixed 15 minutes after the crew timed out, because the crews can only work for 10 hours or something, right? 8 hours or something, right? Whatever it is. And after that, due to the agreements, they literally cannot fly. So these people got on board their plane, sat there for several hours, had their flight canceled, got off of their plane, and then American Airlines told them, you need to file a lost baggage claim because we can't get your bags. And I watched this person point out the window where they are literally loading the bags back onto the truck to take them off the plane and go, I can see our bags right there. How are you telling me you can't get us our bags? And they go, yeah, I can't get you your bags. File a lost baggage claim. So they had to call security because there was just a mob of people about to take out, the poor woman up front trying to explain this to them. And I don't blame those people for being upset because they were just screwed, But whatever, it worked out great for us because our plane also had a problem, but we got Detroit's plane. So we finally board our plane. We're getting ready to go to Disney World. I'm pretty happy. And all of a sudden we're sitting, I notice it's been a while and we're not moving. They've cleared, the flight attendants are sitting down, everyone's seated. I think we're about to take off, and then we're just not going anywhere. And at this point, it's now 9 o'clock or something on my day that started at 3 a.m. with a drive to Dallas. We're not going anywhere. Next thing I know, I see a commotion in the back. I see a manager from American Airlines come on the plane, go to the back. I see a man very irate. Now, this is, 20 rows behind me, so I can't hear what they're saying, but this man looks very unhappy. Well, next thing I know, this man gets his bag, starts walking towards the front as the American Airlines manager is basically kind of forcing him up there, walking him forcefully off the plane. And the guy is bawling. This, 40, 50-year-old man is just weeping, screaming, crying. Apparently that guy had flown in from Korea or something, had been stranded in the airport all day long, had finally got a plane to go see his family in Florida, and then it turns out that because we were on a different plane than we had originally been scheduled for, this plane didn't have as many seats, and American Airlines had fucked up and put him on the plane with his confirmed ticket before realizing that they had double booked. And because that guy was lower on the list or whatever, he was getting kicked off a plane he was already seated on. We finally take off. We land at 12:30 in Tampa. I got no sleep, obviously, because I'm on the plane with a 2-year-old who is 2, right? And it's a 3-hour flight or whatever, 2.5-hour flight. So that was just ridiculous trying to keep him going. So we finally get there. We have to rent a 10-person van for all of us. Fortunately, we had no baggage, so that made it pretty easy. We have an extremely slow driver. We drive to Orlando, and I spend the entire hour and 45-minute drive on the line with lost baggage at American Airlines. And I had to go through literally every bag we checked and explain to them what was in the bag so I could file a claim. And we arrived, and I went to bed right after we got here about 4 a.m. I was a 25-hour day. And the moral of the story is American Airlines sucks. I travel a lot. I've flown more than 100 hours this year, according to American Airlines, right? I was on 80 planes. I have never, and I've been doing this for years, I've never in my life had a worse travel experience. So that's that. That's your Corbin story of the week. I'm done talking. It was ridiculous. It was so insane. Do not ever fly American Airlines. I'm going to be status. I had status with them, but I'll be switching to another airline after this. I think it was just unreal. I don't mind. I get that stuff happens, but watching them throw a crying grown man off a plane, watching them not use all of their stuff, watching their helpline hang up on us, watching them tell people who just got kicked off a flight where their bags were that they could not retrieve their bags. It was rough, man.
Whew.
So I don't know where that lands in like the pantheon of travel horror stories or whatever. But the saddest part is we were the lucky ones, I had status and was able to get a human being on the phone who was able to hook us up. And, we're fortunate our family was able to book last minute flights that they could drive and get on. A woman came up to me in the airport and said, I heard you say something about Tampa. Excuse me for intruding, but were you able to get on a plane to Tampa? And I was like, yeah, but we got the last 4 seats, and she's like on the verge of tears. She's just like, well, we're going to Disney World, and we were going for 4 days, and they're delaying us 2 days out of here. I think we're just going to rent a van and drive 18 hours. And it was just very, very sad. There was just crying kids all around who had their Disney World trip canceled, and you know, and the woman on the line when I was talking to him on the phone said, "Well, you know how it goes with these weather delays." And I was like, "Please stop." I tell her, and I'm super nice to people on the phone. I was like, "Don't tell me this. I'm looking out the window. It is a bright, sunny day. Don't I don't need to hear it." So yeah, the sad part is, as terrible as that was for me, I consider us extremely lucky to have gotten here. So that's that. I don't know. I think publicly shaming companies like this is the only way anything changes. I can write a complaint. They'll give me
but what you didn't
compensation,
do,
but that's it.
You didn't post the video of that dude getting dragged off the plane on Twitter like you should have.
Correct.
Well,
If you want to publicly shame them,
Yeah,
but
that's-
you were like, "No, I'm sitting on the plane. I post this on Twitter. They're gonna drag my ass off the plane." But as soon as you landed,
well, here's the thing. I was on 3 hours of sleep. I'd gotten about a 30, 45-minute nap there while Miriam was doing some shopping during the day, right? Getting clothes for everybody. I filmed the encounter because I noticed no one else was. And this man, at some point he was trying to address the entire plane and say whatever he was going to say. And at some point he rested his hand on like the seat, but his hand brushed the shoulder of the person sitting there. And you could just see the entire plane tensed up. It the saying is like all the air rushes out of a room or whatever. Everyone collectively gasps or gathers their breath. I just, you could feel the tension rise when that happened as he just brushed the guy's shoulder. So I was like, I need to start filming this because no one else is. And if something goes down here, United Fight Club style, somebody needs to be filming this. So I filmed it, and I don't know. I mean, I think American was somewhat professional in the way they handled it, and I'm sure they offered him whatever for it, but they didn't get him to Tampa that night. But it was their fault. The thing is, legally, once you confirm their ticket and scan it for them and seat them on the plane, they are entitled to that seat legally. That's how it works. Obviously they can bump you, but you are entitled to cold hard cash in the event that happens. But obviously the airline will never tell you that. They'll offer you a $400 voucher, and that's that, and they'll never tell you that if you just refuse those vouchers, you were going to get $1,500 cash or whatever the law is. So, I just knew that this guy was going to get screwed, and it sucked. So, but I've been on the, I'm 25 hours. I just want to get in the air. I have a 2-year-old next to me, et cetera, et cetera. I'm obviously exhausted out of my mind and stressed, and I didn't think I was in a great state to post it, and I didn't want to piss off American before I got where I was going.
Before they got you your bags.
Right. I didn't want it to go viral and blow up while I was in the air and couldn't respond to any of it or anything, couldn't track it, whatever. So I've wanted to sleep on it, and I ultimately decided not to post it because,
because you have a return flight with American?
Do what?
Because you have a return flight with American?
Yeah, that's pretty much, that's certainly a good reason. But the thing is, I don't know. I mean, I think American handled it basically as professionally as they could. It's a sucky situation all around. I think if it hadn't been for the 20 hours that had preceded that, then maybe it wouldn't have seemed like as big of a deal. So I don't know. Maybe I should have posted it. Maybe I should have done that, but it felt dangerous. All I wanted to do, and this is selfish, I guess, all I wanted to do was get to Disney World and enjoy vacation with my 2-year-old son,
Yeah, all that guy wanted to do was, get the flight he was entitled to.
Yeah, but I don't know.
That guy's not you. I get it.
Yeah, but it's more like me posting that video isn't going to help that man.
No, it would help me because I was like getting updates from Corbin all day, and it would help me chuckle.
Yeah, dude. The next day I was so stupid too. I was just exhausted, and obviously we got up at 8 a.m. and went to parks because, of course, my son woke up at 7 a.m. Just clearly, just why wouldn't he? But I was just so tired the next day. I was just saying stupid stuff. I think we were talking at some point about Pirates of the Caribbean, and I said, well, it doesn't make any sense that this happens in this time period or something. I was like, somebody was like, well, do you know when America was discovered? Because I was talking about how, I don't know, something about the geography parts of the Caribbean. And I was like, yeah, 1792.
When America was discovered, yeah.
Yeah. You know, when Christopher Columbus discovered America, because he was the one who discovered it after all, 1792. And they were like...
Columbus sailed the ocean blue in 1792. Everybody remembers that.
And my sister-in-law just looked at me and was like, thought I was making a joke, and I was like, oh.
But they all went to Oklahoma public schools, so nobody... They're like, is that right? Nope, I have no idea.
I was like, that's to the point when it really sunk in. And this was like late. This was in the evening the next day. I was like, I used all of my adulting to get us here.
Just want a wide on a wide.
All of the adult responsibilities that I could ever muster in my entire being were used to get us here. You can't hold me responsible for anything that happens after that.
Whew, that is a story. Corbin got his 25-hour layover. He got a 25-minute layover on the start of this podcast. That was great.
Corbin, would you be willing to post that video in the Discord?
I'll definitely post a video in the Discord.
Now, if you would like access to that video and some other things in the Discord.
This was it. It's a long con. I'm looking at the time. It was a 23-minute setup for the Patreon pitch.
Take yourself to patreon.com/Brainstorm Brewery. For as little as $1 a month, which is 20 or 25 cents an episode, you can see a grown man cry. Because he thought after 20 hours at an airport he was going to get to see his family, but his dreams were shattered, and they gave him a shitty continental breakfast at a Holiday Inn next to an airport and a $400 voucher for another canceled flight.
Jason, the Patreon pitch, obviously, if we've learned anything from the past week, the Patreon pitch isn't what gets people to sign up. It's hyping them up for unknown perks.
Yeah, no, they're coming. I promise.
They're coming. Well, we
tell your friends to sign up their friends, and then they'll get unknown perks. And then
but if you sign, the more people you sign up, the more perks you get.
What is this? A pyramid scheme?
It's a reverse funnel.
Go to Amway.com/brainstorm. Amway is our new sponsor.
The plan.
Brought to you by Betsy DeVos and Eric Prince.
They were probably offending the non-zero number. There are so many people I think are intelligent, and I'm like, I want to, there was literally someone the other day who I worked with like 7 or 8 years ago, and I don't know, I saw a status of something of hers posted on Facebook, and I was like, I'm going to go look at this person's profile. I really liked them. I want to see what they're up to with their life. And clearly the first thing I see is that they're selling multi-level marketing. And I was like, yep. All those good things I just thought about this person out the window.
People get sucked into it because it's somebody's making money. Those things wouldn't thrive at all if nobody made money.
Right.
But
false. Have you seen the math on the stats on this?
Oh yeah. Most people lose their ass, and it's you made some money. Well, reinvest it, and then they end up buying all this Nutrisystem or whatever, and it's their garage is just full of it, and they have to buy it, and then.
Right. Well, the thing is, whatever percentage of people, and it is far above 50%, lose money, right? Yeah. But then the people who do make money, something like 98% or something of the people who make money make under $800 a year doing it. The only people who actually make money at it are literally the 0.1% or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like everything else.
But the thing is, Marianne...
It's like a compartmentalized...
Marianne is already, not always a super chill person, but she is militant about people who multi-level market her. She has had good friends of hers at one point in her life or whatever send her their multi-level marketing pitch and messages, and she just has a copy-paste response that says, I don't support multi-level marketing for X reasons, so I'm not interested, goodbye. Not even ignore
That's
it or...
That's fierce. I'm not interested. Goodbye. God damn.
That
was a friend.
I don't know if the goodbye is included in there, but it is. There is no other way to take it than you.
If someone sent me, I'm not interested, goodbye, oh man.
That's
Yeah, it's
the
like-
that's
would
like
need
a
a
per my
skin
last
graft.
email level of corporate aggressiveness. Like,
Yeah, it's like, I mean, it is. There's no other way to take her blanket response as other than, I think you're really stupid for doing this. So, but who knows? That's probably the same advice I'd give anybody who wanted to start a podcast, and here we are.
Yeah, here we are. Here we are doing a podcast. We have a moderately successful Patreon. Thanks to all of you who locked in before January 1st. We really appreciate that. We have special perks going to the people that locked in.
one
in
of our
2018.
Patreons knows what the really cool perk is because he is the one that is in charge of making it.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
so
true. That's true. Yeah.
So
hope he
shout out
doesn't
to that
spill the
guy
beans, yeah.
who's making that perk happen. It's gonna be really sweet. I
It
think
is.
we'll-
It is
But
cooler
since
than I
it's
thought
but
we
like
could do.
we don't have to tell you anything because you're already locked in or you're not. Like it's too late to lock in now. So just trust us that it was the smart idea to listen to us.
Well, here's the thing, right? We're going to we're going to announce next week all of the stuff.
Yeah.
Because we had some ideas and then it went even more crazy than we expected, so we want to up the ante, right? But so we're going to announce everything in full next week. But keep in mind, the stuff you get for locking in before the end of the year for all of you who did, and it was way more of you than we expected. It was really nice. It was really awesome. It's not like everything is a one shot, right? The normal stuff that we're going to be doing and updating is going to be really cool. It's just that the people who locked in are going to get some stuff that that's just exclusive.
Think
so,
of it as a Brainstorm Brewery reserved list.
yeah, there
Yeah,
you
it's
go.
just it's all upside. So like the normal stuff at those tiers is obviously fine because like hundreds of you, thank you, are already doing the Patreon normally. But we just wanted to make sure people that supported us in the year 2018 got something special. So we're doing something additional at every tier except $1, I think, because we don't have
the
your
$1
addresses.
tier is still just the Discord, but the Discord,
We don't have your addresses. We can't send you anything.
the Discord
so.
growing is its own reward.
Yeah, the
that's
Discord's
true.
already great.
The memes are getting danker by the day. So yeah, that's the Patreon
And
pitch.
one tiny more thing, we did blow past the wife cast goal super quickly, and
Yeah.
that is still happening. And in the Discord, I just made a channel called Wifecast where you can
Ooh.
submit your questions to our significant others because we have to screen them first, of course. But you can either submit your questions in the Discord if you are a patron, or you can submit them to brainstormbrew@gmail.com, which will be in the.
I had to break the news. I thought we would literally never hit
Did you
that
break the
goal.
news to Marianne right
I
after
did.
before you got
No,
right
I did it.
before you got on the plane? Because that'd be great.
No. I did it in front of her entire family tonight.
Oh, that's
That way
better.
she couldn't say no.
What was her reaction? Like begrudging?
She was just like, I wasn't consulted about this. And
Nope,
I was like,
none of
I
the
agree.
wives were.
Yeah, I
Whitney's
agree.
reaction was, I want to see all the questions beforehand, which is why we're screening the questions beforehand.
Emily's been super hyped. She's like, I want to be on the cast, and I was like, not till we hit 2,000, woman.
Okay.
That sounded so like.
That's thrown in at the
I think
end.
you're faking the whole thing. What would a dominant guy say?
Yeah.
Woman.
Well,
They call her a woman.
I was gonna say a different word, but then I decided to PG-13 it for the.
Oh, that would have been extremely inappropriate, DJ.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Was it wench? Fuck puppet doesn't start with a W. I don't.
Marianne
what
is
it's
she's like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And I was like, you just have to be mean to me. Pretend it's any other day.
Yeah. Just tell
So,
everyone
yeah,
what
that'll
it's
be fun.
like to
Submit
be
those
Mrs.
questions.
Corbin Hostler.
I don't know how it's gonna go. That's the thing is, we have no idea how any of it's gonna go. That's the fun part. We also haven't figured out the format, right? If we want to, we're not gonna have them all on at once, right? That wouldn't make sense. I think we're gonna
What?
try to split
What
it
do you
up
mean?
into.
No.
No, the
I thought
three
the
of them are
plan
going
was
to come
to-
on.
I thought the plan was to have them each do their own 15 minutes or whatever, right?
No. They get
Were
to
we
No,
interact
they
on each-
they
they
need
get
to
to
talk
interact
to
each
each
couple?
other.
Yeah, they get to interact and shit on us.
Oh.
Maybe the three of us need to not
Oh,
be
no.
on.
We'll see. Oh no, this is gonna be interesting. I hope it's not a dud, but if it's incredibly cringy, because Marianne gets really weird in public and she's never talked to a computer like we've become very used to doing. So
It's like a phone call.
It's like
I realize sometimes how weird it is that we just do that, right? Like my father-in-law was sitting out here earlier on the porch with me, and I was just like, "Oh, I'm gonna jump in the call now," and I just got in the call with you guys, and we started, talking and whatever. And it's just, 5 years ago, it was just so weird. You just opened up a computer, saw talking,
and then he pointed his piece at your computer because he thought you were getting spied on by the NSA.
I hope I'm getting spied on by the NSA.
I got an Alexa for Christmas. I'm definitely getting spied on.
Oh yeah, I've had one of those for a few years now, and it's getting increasingly aware of what we say in the kitchen.
What do you use it for?
Primary functions are alarm clock, dinner cooking timer, laundry timer, calendar scheduling, weather and traffic related, Alexa, what's the traffic today?
For that, you're getting spied on 24/7 for a kitchen timer. Come on.
See, that's the thing,
dude.
man. Yeah, exactly. Like,
But I'm using it like minimum. I don't
does your laundry not already have a timer on it? Like, does your oven not tell you when it's
My
done?
oven turns itself off. I don't need Mark Zuckerberg reading all my emails just so I can not have to set the oven timer.
And I have the Amazon one, right? I don't have the Google one, so it probably won't even link to my Google Calendar.
It links to the Google Calendar.
Dude, the shit I bought on Amazon's even more.
I don't know, man. It was I'm pretty excited about it, I guess. It was
There are other methods you can use it for that I do not, that I have not tinkered with
yeah,
yet,
you can dim your lights with it. That's the real
trick.
trick.
I can't do that because
That's all I know. I have a friend who uses it for that.
No, there's a ton of cool stuff you can do that I can't do until I own my own home because I can't tinker with our lights or anything like that, I don't think. So.
Yeah, well, I don't know what we're going to use it for, but hey, we got it.
Also, how dare you assume that I'm the one that cooks?
What?
Emily's the one that cooks in this household, not me.
It's kind of hard to cook with a PVC rubber mask zippered over your face. I would assume, right? She's bumping into shit.
I would assume he adds.
DJ, come taste this. I can't get the ball gag out of my mouth.
Well, then how's she going to say that, man?
She says it to Alexa, idiot.
How's she going to say it to Alexa, Jason?
She taught it Morse code.
I'm sure there is a way to do that, man. She just taps on the counter. She's just like...
When she goes, ooh, it's like, oh, call DJ.
Yeah.
Okay.
When she makes a dying noise that makes your neighbors get a little concerned, that just means dinner's ready.
Ooh! Googling the miracle worker. No, not that.
Oh, I can't wait to get spied on for this. It's going to be awesome. Man. All right, I guess we're 30 minutes in. Should we talk about Magic?
No, because nothing happened this week. This is the first podcast of the year. We're just loosening up. He's like, yeah, we sometimes talk about Magic Finance. Last 5 minutes of the cast, boom, we'll make you like $100, and you'll be like, they did it. Those magnificent bastards did it.
And the first comment on YouTube will be a link to that part.
Yep.
Real cast starts at 55 minutes.
Podcast starts at 55:89.
89?
89, he says.
I'm drinking. Alexa, erase that.
I came from a bourbon bar tonight, so that was pretty cool.
They have bourbon bars at Disney?
Dude, they do. Have you guys ever been to Disney World?
No.
When I was 13 and I heard there was a secret bar, but I'm like, why would you pay $196 for a ticket to get into Disney World and then go to a bar?
I haven't in it.
Like they have bars in Florida.
They have a secret club. It's like Club 23 or so. I have an inn at that, actually. I'm kind of excited. I'm going to use it.
You have an inn?
Yeah. You have to get invited.
Is it the same as your Teespring inn?
Who invited you?
That wasn't mine.
I mean,
that wasn't helpful.
That had nothing to do with me. That had nothing to do with me.
JVL was...
JVL was trying to be helpful.
He was your
connection,
didn't work out. So this falls back on you.
Oh, I see.
You're the one that got him on the cast.
I see.
I'm surprised that guy told somebody who knew GVL to piss off. Speaking of Teespring, I am relaunching it. If you're one of the 3 people who sent your t-shirts back in for a refund that you may or may not have gotten, I sent my shit in. Did I get a refund? I don't know. I'll be redoing the Teespring soon.
For what it's worth, the shirts are fine. I've been wearing mine this week.
Yeah?
It's fine. They're fine. Like they're blurry. They're obviously not as good as they could be. Yeah, but they're fine.
Marcel got one of the coffee mugs, and I was like, man, I wish I got a coffee mug. So maybe I'll do coffee mugs this time and tote bags and shit like that. We'll just get our logo on stuff. Now that I know the logo will be good. I have a good picture to use. I'll do the tea spraying at some point. I'll let you guys know.
Yeah, use the same image file for your tattoo.
That would be really funny.
So
tattoo.
Here's what I learned about Disney World this week. Did you know that they have Disney World specific trading cards?
I'm not surprised.
We get off the bus one day, and my kid is, he's 2, so he's hit or miss. He's
hit or miss as a person,
as to what he likes here, right? Because they're kids. So he's too young to be into most of the rides. He hates the rides that are dark. He's liked meeting a couple of the characters, but other times he just gets distracted. It's all very overwhelming for a little kid. But what he does love is riding the boat and riding the bus. So we told the bus driver one day that, hey, the bus is our kid's favorite ride here at Disney World. And he's like, oh, do you want some cards? And he hands us a stack of Disney World trading cards that have all the different modes of transportation on them. And by that I mean every different type of bus they have. So we've got a full collection going, man. I looked it up on eBay. Somebody sold the complete set for $100. Completed listing. So I'm getting my kid on that value grind here at Disney World. We're asking
That's
every
a good investment for your gas cost for when you have to tuck them in at bed.
Here's $8 for 9 cards. 4 parks, 1 world. Is that what they're called?
What?
4 parks, 1 world?
I have no idea. I'm not the Disney expert, man.
No one's a Disney. I live in Michigan. We don't trifle with Disney. It's like, you want to go to Disney?
Yep.
Yeah! We're going to Cedar Point. Get in the car. Cedar
Disney
Point's
World's
the
pretty
best.
fun, man.
It's the best
I
park
enjoy
in the
Disney
world.
World.
There's no lines. It's great.
Oh,
Cedar
the lines.
Point's the
We're at the busiest time of the year at the busiest park in the world. It has been a shit show. But we have fast
your
passes
flight
for
was
most
like,
of it,
I
at
was
least.
like, we waited 20 hours in the airport. Well, fucking get used to waiting 20 hours to take one ride.
No. Because the way they do it now, it's all very high tech. You get a magic band, which is both your room key, your way to pay for things in the park, and your fast passes that you schedule in advance to go on the rides. So we went to the new Avatar land today in Animal Kingdom, and we fast passed our way in, and it was a pretty cool ride. I enjoyed it. But it was it topped out, I think, at a 300, no, it was a 200-something minute wait today if you were trying to just go on the ride without a fast pass. So
How long
we
did it
get
take
off.
you?
15 to 20 minutes, 15 minutes, I'd say, to get into the ride. And the ride lasted for 5 or whatever. And then it was 30 minutes from the time we walked up to the time I was out of the ride. But I think we were in line for maybe 15 minutes. It was fine. But as we walked off the ride and we get off, all of a sudden a mass exodus comes out of this 2.5 hour line because they have evacuated the ride. And as we were walking back to the bus, and
I
we
really hope some of those people were on your same plane situation.
That would be so. They got here on Saturday.
Yeah,
they got their flight in on
finally.
Saturday. Yeah, they waited in Dallas for 2 days. No, but see, the thing is, as we were walking out, our group actually split up into 2 because we're not taking a 2-year-old on that one. So 4 of us went, and the other 3 were going to go after, and the other 3 didn't make it. They had it canceled on them, so that sucks. But as we were walking out of the park, I was like, man, I know this sucks for you guys. I got to go on it. It was cool. I was like, somebody was in that line for 2.5 hours, and then they were at the very front of the line, and then they got evacuated, and now they're fucked.
Yep.
And somebody behind us goes, hey, that's us. And they go, actually, it's worse than that. We had gotten through the line, and we were putting on the harnesses, getting ready to start the ride, and then they evacuated us. And now we're going home because our flight is in 2 hours.
Jesus.
I was like, oh my God. So, yep.
Just let 'em take the ride, man.
It was a pretty fun ride. But the coolest thing, we went to Universal Studios as well, which was pretty cool. But the coolest thing I just did this weekend is I just came from a place called The Void Virtual Reality. And essentially, imagine a big building with 4 or 5 rooms in it. As you go into it, you put on an Oculus Rift headset, you put on a vest of some sort, and then you go through we essentially became stormtroopers in a Star Wars scene where literally I have the VR headset on, I look at the 3 people around me in my group, and I see stormtroopers. That's all I see. And you have to you walk through a door as you like say a hatch opens, and you walk out onto Mustafar, so the like lava planet where Anakin gets wrecked. And like
we know what Mustafar is. Jeez,
I didn't.
But like a blast
Thank
of
you,
heat
Corbin.
comes over your head, and at some point you pick up blasters and you start shooting people. You start shooting other stormtroopers.
the trade delegation. Yeah, you just murder the trade delegation. We've all seen
yeah,
the
but like
movie.
it was all, dude. I'm just telling you, this was the most incredible, like I don't know how you like entertainment, experience I've ever had.
Dude, VR is amazing. Even
But
when you're even if you're just sitting on a couch in a room, VR is amazing.
Yeah, this isn't even like. Then the thing is, there's sit on a couch VR. Then there's the good Oculus Rift VR where you set up the sensors around you and it can track your movements and stuff. And then there was this, which is all of the above. And you'd have to solve some puzzles in the virtual reality, but you would do it with physical controls that they had built into the room.
Oh, cool. So
Dude,
it wasn't just like you would pretend to twist stuff with your VR.
Right. No,
thing?
there would be physical. Yeah, it's like, I don't know. Basically, and
That's
the
cool.
crazy thing is I remember like 5-6 years ago, my friends and I like did laser tag or something. We're like, man, wouldn't it be cool if you did laser tag, but instead of shooting little kids across the room with a shitty gun that isn't accurate, you were like shooting aliens in a VR, but it was actually you moved around. That was this, man. This technology has not, like, it's brand new cutting edge shit. It was crazy. So I don't know. I'm a little drunk. Cut me a break this week.
That's fine. You want to hear about blowouts? I bought a new phone and it's too big to fit in the VR headset thing I bought. So now I can't watch VR porn.
Do you have a VR?
It's just like a little thing that holds your phone.
Like the
And
cardboard
it has
or whatever?
like it has 2 different eye holes, so it like the way that if you put like look up a VR thing on your phone, it'll have 2 different things split on the screen. It'll have the screen split in half, and then the thing has 2 different eye holes, and then you focus them, and then it looks like it's 3D. But like my new phone is too big to fit in the thing, so I can't play VR games on my phone anymore.
What's the point without VR porn, am I right?
Yeah, I'm sitting here looking at 2-dimensional porn like a caveman.
Dude, I think VR is the future of gaming, though, man. Like, I thought that before just doing the Oculus Rift, but that thing tonight, that was
I played Fallout
so
4 VR with a headset and the 2 hand controllers, and I was like, I never want to play a console game again.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, they take more energy, especially the ones where you have to actually be standing to move around or whatever.
Yeah.
But it is just so close to.
There's this game called Gorn, which I assume
to just
means
being
gore
a thing
porn.
that's better.
Yeah, and it's like this battle arena type thing where you're like a gladiator, and my friends will get like literally sweaty playing this game.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, it's crazy. I was just thinking about it. I'm like, man, because Marianne's parents have come to Disney World for a long time, and they were talking about the first time they came 30-something years ago, and whatever, and it's like now we're doing this insane VR experience, like, mobile, moving around a room VR, like moving around multiple rooms VR experience that has special effects based on where you walk, etc. It's like, man, imagine 20 years from now when I bring my grandkids here or whatever, 30 years, they're gonna be like, what? You had a time before whatever?
You're going to be so out of touch. They're going to think you're such a regressive dinosaur.
Yep.
I'm already out of touch, man.
Back in my day, I was super progressive. Whatever, Mr. Gender Rigid, and they high-five each other and laugh at you.
Yep, sure thing, man. That's exactly how it's going to go, I'm sure.
It's going to be something I can't even fathom. I was like, but I used to... And they're like, whatever.
I missed the Jason rant from like 2 years ago when he was going off about how card games are for dinosaurs. He's like, we play physical cards on a table.
With someone in the same room.
Well, that's funny now that Arena's out. We're holding arena tournaments at my store. People just bringing their laptops
Imagine someone
up and playing
coming from Arena and they're trying to play FNM and they keep saying GG to their opponent. And they're like, calm down, like GG, GG.
Oops.
I'll tap a swamp. No, actually, I'll tap a plains. GG, GG, GG.
But the auto chapper said.
Clearly, they would just cast their spells, never tap lands, and when you call a judge, they're like, the auto tapper didn't work. I don't know how this is my fault.
No, my lands are just tapped at like a 10-degree angle. That's just how...
Hey, man, I happen to not tap my lands 90 degrees. I like how they look tap 45. I don't want to hear it.
Jason, that's like fighting words in the Arena community.
What, tapping 45 instead of tapping 90? I don't know what's fighting words in the Arena community.
GG, GG, GG.
I like this. I do spam GG sometimes, I won't lie, but I also spam oops a lot every time I wreck my opponent.
So you're just the worst. You're the bully they complain about. It hasn't changed since high school.
Do you have a WotC staff account?
No, I don't.
WotC staff Corbin says, oops.
WotC staff Corbin says, GG, GG, GG.
Corbin casts disdainful stroke. Oops.
They missed their third land drop. GG, GG.
They lost $6,000 on their moto collection. GG, GG, GG.
I just think I think that if you rage at people in Magic Online chat with real words, that's mean and toxic, and you shouldn't do that. If you spam GG at somebody, I just think it's kind of funny.
Yeah,
that's not enough.
I think it's worse.
It's not enough to ever. It's like
because at least on Moto you could screenshot it and put it on the subreddit and like, yeah, look at this person.
Right, exactly. You can at least reap some karma out of it.
Yeah, like using the tools that the system forces you to use is somehow more BM. It's like an Overwatch. If you say like GG easy or whatever, it translates it into like my feelings are hurt or something.
I do like that. Yeah.
If you say like GG easy, it translates it into like sorry, I'm going through a rough time. My self-esteem's not great or something like that.
Yeah, it's pretty. I liked Blizzard's approach there. But the thing is, I don't know, man. It's just if you look. People who tell people to kill themselves or whatever, that's clearly over the line. Raging at people, it's just no reason for it. Spamming GG when they can mute you with one click, it just doesn't seem like a big deal to me.
Oh, you can mute people?
Yeah, you can mute emotes from people. You just like right click on their name.
Oh man.
But you don't know that they muted you, so it still feels good to do it to them.
Yeah, like I'm not spamming GG for their benefit.
I mute everybody when I play League of Legends. I'm just like, I mute all my teammates.
That's a smart play.
I don't want to hear it.
That's a very smart play.
Man, I can't believe you guys aren't Disney World fans. I'm teaching my son to collect them all.
Disney sucks. It's like 3 good rides, and then you meet like the vaguely racist princess from Princess and the Frog or whatever, and then
man, Jason,
like you ride
Jason
3, but
now.
Cedar Point. What's that?
Jason now, Disney World sucks. Jason 5 years from now, my kids love Disney World. I can't wait to go.
No, my kids love Cedar Point, and it's a 2.5-hour drive, and it's awesome. And I can stay in a hotel for $40 because Sandusky hasn't figured out that it's 2019. It's Ohio, Dick.
The best part about Disney World is the Magic Bands, where you just scan them, and then you just run up a tab for the entire time you're here, and you don't know what your tab is until the end.
That sounds dangerous. I don't like that.
$4,000 you bought,
and obviously
$16 for a Mickey Mouse ice cream. No,
it's $4.50 for a 20-ounce soda.
Woo.
A bottled soda.
How much is your general like projection for expenditures for this trip?
Well, without getting too much into it, I don't know exactly because we were fortunate that
that's how they do it. They give you those magic bands.
Well, the thing is, like, Marianne's parents are members of the Disney Vacation Club. So it's essentially a timeshare with a bunch of different options. So every couple years, I'd say every 3 to 4 years or whatever, there's enough to basically rent out a suite at the resort for the family. So we don't have to pay for the room. and we used miles to book the tickets. So we had to buy I'm sorry, to book the airline tickets. So we had to buy the park tickets, which are like $200 a day or something absurd. And then we pay for some amount of our food and alcohol, So I don't know what we're going to spend. But Marianne's been stocking up. Marianne's on that good valued grind. That's why she's awesome, because she's been buying Disney gift cards when they go on discounted rates on websites for the past year. So there's websites that'll like sell you a gift card at a discounted rate, whether because it's like, I don't know, it's a used gift card or whatever. So
is she buying them from her friends in Facebook Messenger? Because that
multi-level marketing Disney gift cards. So we had $500 of Disney gift cards to spend at the end here, and I guess I'll find out Thursday what we paid. I don't know. Who knows?
That sounds awesome. Maybe Corbin's gonna be doing another Patreon pitch on Thursday.
Yeah. We went to ham at the bar. But Disney World's great for kids, man. What? This is all the main cast, man. This is the cast this week.
Good luck finding an episode in here somewhere, JJ.
This is you totally. This is the special New Year's episode, man.
No. This is the warm up before the cast.
No, this is not the warm up because I'm going to go to bed. But this is just the.
We should do some finance stuff in here at some point.
We can do breaking. Yeah, but Disney movies. Here.
Disney movies kind of were just like terrible for kids. It taught terrible lessons about consent and,
oh yeah, Snow White,
agency over your own body and all kind of crap. It's just like,
well, they're remaking them all now as live action movies. Did you know this?
Which is fine. Yeah, because Jimmy Wong's in Mulan. That's why he wasn't on Command Zone forever. I forgot about that. He was in the live action Mulan. He get to play like an amalgam of 3 characters. So it's gonna be cool, man. And he's doing a voice of the Wish Dragon, where they basically remade Aladdin as the Chinese story it was originally. Like Aladdin was originally Chinese, and they made it all. I don't know.
I did not know that.
So yeah, he's going to be in 2 much better adaptations of movies from when I was a kid, so that'll be good. I was watching the making of Moana, and like it was originally just like basically every other Disney movie, where she had like a bunch of brothers and they were going to go sail, and
Wait,
she's
really?
like, "But I'm the better sailor," and he's like, "You got to stay here and do village stuff." And she's like, "Nuh-uh," and then she like left, and like that was the original story. That's why the pig was everywhere. You know how there's a pig in Moana for like 10 minutes and then you never see it again?
I've never seen Moana.
What's the name of the pig, Jason? You know it.
I don't even know because it's like not even mentioned.
But you've seen it for 30 minutes total because it's only been on the screen for 10 minutes.
That was just in one day.
That pig is everywhere in the movie.
For the first like 10 minutes, and then you never see it again once she leaves.
But whereas why does that have to do with what you were saying?
Because like the original version, the pig was the sidekick instead of the chicken. Like they did really drastic rewrites.
I was thinking about the chicken, not the pig.
Yeah. The chicken is voiced by Alan Tudyk, which I thought was hilarious. He's the only non-Pacific Islander on the voice cast. Everybody else is from the Pacific Islands except Alan Tudyk, because he had to go bark, 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 or whatever.
It turns out you can't even meet Moana at Disney World. It's a crock.
Really?
You can meet random characters from Inside Out, but you can't meet Moana or Maui, which is BS.
Inside Out is a fantastic movie.
I mean, I agree, but like, no one's like coming to Disney World.
Is Inside Out the chick who wanted to play hockey, but her feelings were in the way?
Yes.
No, Jason.
Yes.
What?
That is yes.
Really?
Pretty sure.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
She had like.
She's like moving to a new town, and everything gets turned upside down, and her parents start arguing, and it's like a very, very good movie about psychology and how depression works and like childhood.
Whoa.
It's a fantastic.
DJ's going deep here.
Well, he knows about child psychology, which is why he knows you can let your kid cry it out.
Don't even start. It was a good movie though.
But I don't
think
Should you go?
I don't think anyone is chomping at the bit to see the character Sadness from Inside Out over Maui.
Right?
Right?
No. Every kid who missed their flight is chomping at the bit.
They're meeting Sadness at the airport. Some American Airlines employee comes out in a big blue suit. Hey, remember me from Inside Out? You don't get to go to Disney. Oh, it's me, his friend. Disappointment. Who wants a $200 voucher?
There's so many people listening to this who have never seen or heard of any of these movies, and I turned the cast off half an hour ago.
Well, have a kid.
Good advice, Jason.
If your pull-out game is as bad as mine, soon you'll know all the words to the You're Welcome song sung by The Rock. So, you're welcome.
Dude, The Rock is awesome, though.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. He did a movie without Kevin Hart, which I appreciate. I wish he'd do more of those.
Not a Kevin Hart fan?
No, man. Kevin Hart sucks.
Yeah, but he's pretty good in the movies with The Rock.
The Rock is pretty good in the movies with The Rock.
All right, let's do Breaking Bulk so JJ can.
Dude,
put
they
it in
made a
here.
Jumanji movie with Jack Black, and Jack Black is not the worst part of that movie. That's how bad Kevin Hart is.
I saw like 4 seconds of that movie and turned it off.
Not your Robin Williams Jumanji, where he's like, "Hey, leave the windows open for Jumanji." That might have been Hook. I don't remember.
Breaking Bulk time. Breaking Bulk time. Break.
Oh, yeah, Breaking Bulk. There's so much good stuff.
It's a pick. Breaking Bulk. The end.
That's a lot of good stuff. What do we want to do Breaking Bulk or Pick of the
Yeah,
Week?
we want to do Breaking Bulk. Speaking
Okay.
of a lot of good stuff.
Let's do some magic. This is the 5 minutes of magic we promised everybody.
They've turned off the cast.
Maybe JJ.
Hey,
will learn some of it.
if you listen to like 10 minutes of our BS and you're like, I don't care, you go to patreon.com/Brainstorm Brewery. You can have access to the spreadsheet where we update our picks of the week and Breaking Bulk. If that's all you care about, you'll get those updated as soon as we podcast, so you don't have to wait for the episode to come out. And you can see, without context, you won't hear our explanations, but you will see our Breaking Bulk and picks of the week as soon as we record. We put them in the spreadsheet right away. So if not listening to us talk is something you're into, but you still kind of want the benefit of our finance advice, go to patreon.com/Brainstorm Brewery and get subscribed to our Patreon at a tier that DJ knows, and you'll have access to the spreadsheet every single week.
All right, let's do this. I'm gonna go first with Breaking Bulk here.
Ooh.
I don't know why this card is. I'm just gonna say it because we talked about it before the cast. I'm not gonna, but I'm talking about Merciless Executioner. Fate Reforged Uncommon. It's just a Fleshbag Marauder. It's a 3/1 for 3. Each player sacrifices a creature. I mean, honestly, it's basically a strictly worse Plaguecrafter, right?
And Plaguecrafter is the number 2 most played card from Guilds of Ravnica on EDH Rec. Plaguecrafter is insanely popular.
What's number 1?
Let me look it up.
I mean, does Chromatic Lantern count?
Wow. I mean,
No?
maybe people are just making tribal Fleshbag Marauder decks.
Well,
And
it's
that's
just,
why Merciless Executioner.
it just goes into, like, you just slot it into every Marin deck, and sometimes,
Oh, Plaguecrafter is actually number 1 now. Plaguecrafter at 1062, Beast Whisperer at 802, and Assassin's Trophy at like 750. So those numbers don't really mean anything. Just know that Plaguecrafter has played, like, Assassin's Trophy has played 75% as much as Plaguecrafter. That's how much Plaguecrafter's played.
Plaguecrafter is going to be an extremely good Breaking Bulk, whatever, 3 months from now, 6 months from now, or grab them now. But Merciless Executioner has actually gone up to $2, which is kind of crazy, but there you go.
Yeah, that is a little bit nuts, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's just noise, but, it's been a trend for the past month.
There's so many printings of Fleshbag Marauder.
that's retail, right? Because Fleshbag or Executioner's buy list price has always been pretty weak.
Yeah, well, it's been recent. This is all in the last couple months. But, like, how many printings there are of Fleshbag Marauder don't matter, right? Because if you play one, you probably play them all.
Yeah, but do you really want a third one? Once you got Plaguecrafter, which is just better because, like, an opponent with no creatures out
better.
can. Yeah,
You
so
just
like
play 'em all.
well, yeah. Do you want 3?
No.
I don't
Maybe you
know.
do.
I don't know.
I think Executioner is the worst one because Plaguecrafter's a human and it has better toughness and all that, and then Fleshbag's a zombie.
Sure.
Yeah, but like, what decks are playing that kind of stuff? It's like it's Muldrotha, it's Marin, it's Carador, Sidisi. So like I don't know if the creature type matters as much as just like playing a removal spell that you can just like recur.
I mean,
Or-
Plaguecrafter is just it's just generically good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just plays
Yeah.
everything.
well, Playcrafter's number one, and then you do. Yeah, I don't know.
All right, what do you
Maybe
guys?
it's not.
What,
Maybe
what,
it's
what do you
number
guys
two
got?
over Fleshbag. I got one you can actually guess.
Okay.
This is it's a battle for Zendikar, I think. No, it's Origins. Yeah, it's an Origins green enchantment at uncommon.
Zendikar's Royal.
Yup. I shouldn't have said Zendikar. I thought it was a. I was like,
Gave
what's that
it away a
expansion
little bit.
symbol? A little bit.
No, that one's sweet.
Yeah, this is just like a card that I get in bulk all the time, and it's a nice little 35 to 50 cent retail card. The buy list isn't great on it, but like there's no reason not to pick a 40 50 cent card and then just like not bulk it out for half a cent.
Of course.
So this is just a card I'm setting aside, and I think you pick these out of bulk, and I think someday this will be a thing.
DJ, what do you got?
Mine's super easy to pick too. It is a white card from Journey into Nyx.
Journey into Nyx.
I don't even remember what that set was.
It's gonna be one of those. Is it?
What block was Journey into Nyx?
It's the enchantment stuff, Jason.
Was that cons?
Is it Nyx Fleece Ram?
No.
Is it the one that the other life gain card that casual players pick up?
Is it an Eidolon?
Sunbond is from Born of the Gods, Corbin. Nice try.
I see. Yeah, it was.
Is it an
the
Eidolon,
one...
DJ?
Yes.
Oh, is it Eidolon of
Is
Rhetoric?
it the one that you can only play one spell per turn?
Yeah,
Yep.
Eidolon of Rhetoric.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said,
Yeah,
it's
that's a
super
good
easy
pick.
to guess, but it's like Card Kingdom pays like 70 to 90 cents on it, which is pretty crazy.
That's pretty good. But I mean,
Yeah.
like it's Arcane Lab, right?
Yeah, it's Arcane Laboratory, but you can tutor for it, or you can more easily tutor for it. I should.
Yeah, I mean it's a Court of Calling thing and Collected Company. It goes in those decks against Storm.
Seems fine. I like it.
Absolutely. All right, let's continue with our 5 minutes of magic here and do picks of the week.
Yeah, just do it all real quick.
Just knock it all out.
Pick of the week, pick of the week, pick of the week. Time for the pick of the week.
So I think Battle Bond is at the point where it's just gonna start going up. I think it's ripe, right?
I mean,
I think
seems that
you
way.
buy your Battle Bond stuff. The stuff that's going up is starting to go up already. Here's a card that is in way more decks than people think. If you go to EDH Rec and you search by sets, right, and you look at Battle Bond, you'd be surprised that like I bet you can guess the top 5 cards. The top 5 cards are Morphic Pool, Sea Clouds, Promenade, Sweet, Garden, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then Spellseeker, Peer and Toothy, Archfiend of Despair, bonus round, Stolen Strategy, Krav, Bramble Sovereign. Then, after that, all those which are like really good cards and like almost all mythics, you have this card, Peer's Whim, which is played as much as Bramble Sovereign.
It is
What's it
the friend or foe.
For each player, choose friend or foe. Your friends, search your library for a land, not a basic land, but a land. Put it in battlefield tapped, shuffle their library. Each foe sacks an artifact or enchantment. Not bad for 4 mana. You're going to like, hey, a 4 mana tutor for my Gaia's Cradle, and you can sack your Rhystic Study or whatever. Like, it's a really good card. It's played as much as Bramble Sovereign, and it's like $1.
I should definitely be playing this in some decks. This card's cool.
All the EDH rec writers, Andrew wrote an article this week where he's like, everybody talk about your top 10 cards. So all the EDX Rec writers did that. And a lot of people had Peer's Whim in their top 10. I didn't. I feel like I overlooked this card a little bit, but I'm like, it's still like $1 Card Kingdom, 50 cents TCG player, but it's like the foils are like $70.
Foils are 7, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is a card that's kind of been identified, and I like the foils honestly at $7, and I like the non-foils at like under $1.
Well, it's hard
Peer's
to
Whim's
know.
a real card, and they're not gonna get more of these. It's never getting reprinted. It's called Peer's Whim.
Yeah.
It's got friend or foe, so it could only go in a Battle Bond set. And I doubt if they do another Battle Bond set, they'll reprint Peer and Toothy. So basically, this card's never getting reprinted.
We've seen a lot of cards, and I guess it remains to be seen whether Battle Bond, because keep in mind there was a second wave of it, or a second print run, or however you want to define it, but I don't know if it's going to behave like Commander sets or not, but we've seen cards like this, it's 75 cents, and you're like, and then 6 months from now, it might be 80 cents, and you're just like, well, that never worked out, and then 2 months after that it'll be $5. You know, this stuff just it sometimes people just catch wind of a card like this and it just goes nuts. And this one definitely seems to fit the bill of probably being good enough.
Spellseeker is in
insane.
twice as many decks and costs 6 times as much. So either Spellseeker is twice as much as it should be, or Pier's Whim is half as much as it should be.
That's a really good point. TJ, what do you got?
It is a giant Eldrazi from Oath of the Gatewatch, and Kozilek the Great Distortion.
Oh, okay.
No, Ulamog was from Battle for Zendikar, Corbin. 2 for 2 on the whole set naming thing, but...
who cares about set names, man? I looked at the origin set symbol and I was like, that's Zendikar. You just need to know what pile to put stuff in when you're sorting, right?
That's right. Match the pictures. That's what I tell the people I have sort for me.
I told my wife that, and she listed a Chronicles Nico Bolas as Legends, and the dude's like, I'll buy that for $3.
What about the card, though, DJ?
Kozilek is $6 right now, and it was like $3 a year and a half or 2 years ago, and it, like... If you look at the graph on this card, it is probably one of the slowest creeps of all time, but it is just consistent. It's like, it is a very, very solid, just 2% gainer every little while. It's just, back when Masters 25 came out, it was $3.99, and then a couple months later it was $4.25, then it was $4.56, then it's $5.22, and then it's $6 now, and it is going to continue that climb because it has weird colorless symbols in the cost, and it's a giant Eldrazi monster, and it is just a card that I think a lot of people overlooked, just because how hard it was to cast in Standard, and it was sort of impossible to play there, and then it was just sort of, it's not great and idiot, but I think this is just one of those casual all-stars where, you just see Eldrazi get sold to casual players all the time, and this is just like the
tribal
cheapest
Eldrazi.
one. It's the cheapest one, and it is going to be $10 before you know it.
So don't you see a card like that was 3 and now it's 6 and go, oh, I missed the boat?
Not with the way this thing has grown. If it had spiked, sure, but DJ's right. It's just consistently grown slowly from 350 in February or a year ago to 550 now. So. It's going to be slow, but DJ's right. It's not something you miss the boat on because there's been no spike in the graph. That's generally how I look at these things. If it's rising steadily over time, seems like it's going to continue to do so. If it spikes, well then it's hit or miss as to whether or not. At that point, I just assume you've missed it, you know. But I think that's a good pick. In the same vein, I'm going to take one here that might take a little while to grow, but I think has a lot of room. I'm going to go with Ultimate Masters is clearly bottomed out. Everyone, we've talked about this. Before Christmas, after Christmas, you have now to get your Ultimate Masters cards at their bottom. So they're gonna be going up. I mean, we always talk about the bump in Magic cards in the first half of the year. Another month from now, people are going to be over the new set, or maybe whatever, a month and a half from now, and you really start to see some of that money and tax returns start to flow into Ultimate Masters. So I'm going with Glenalundra Archmage. So there's a lot of, obviously you could pick a lot of stuff in Ultimate Masters right now. A lot of stuff is bottomed out. But what I like about Glenalundra Archmage is it was originally printed in Eventide, and it was expensive. It got a reprint in Modern Masters, and it was still expensive. And now we've got a third printing that is $6.50 when the original 2 copies are both $16 to $17. So, I don't know how long it's going to take, and I don't know where they're going to converge. But it seems like they're more likely to converge at 9 to 10 than they are at 6. So I like that it's shrugged off reprints, despite neither of those being a huge print run. But it's not like Ultimate Masters was either. So lots you can pick from the set, but Glenalundra Archmage I think is, a pretty strong commander card that is not going anywhere. Nothing else really does what it does in the way it does it.
I don't hate that. We talked about it before the cast, so I'm not mad at it.
All right. Anything else you guys want to touch on before we get out of here this week?
Just as a heads up, this spreadsheet will be archived because it is the end of the year, and there will be a new one going out next week.
Yeah, I tried to open the spreadsheet, and my laptop can't handle it. So it's time for a new spreadsheet with a little less weighing it down. But all right, everybody. Sorry if you didn't like the lack of Magic content this week. It's kind of awkward. We're obviously
don't apologize.
Well, I mean, some
These
people
people
wanted
are
the magic,
nerds.
man. Look, we're right about to hit spoiler season, full spoiler season for Ravnica Allegiance. By the time the cast comes out, you'll probably have seen a lot more than we know now. It's just, we'll talk about it plenty over the next couple weeks. This week was a pretty chill week. You know, enjoy the new year, everybody. I hope your holidays were good, however you celebrated them. I hope you, if you had to travel, you fared slightly better than I did. And thanks for listening. I thank everyone for the Patreon contributions. It was way more than we expected, and we are racking our brains to find the best ways to give all of that back to the listeners. So we'll be back next week with the full details on that. So thanks for listening, everyone.
Bye, nerds.
All right, I'm killing my recording.
Boy, that was a lot of fun. They're gonna hate it.